what's going on? Welcome to the Power Bomb. This is your boy JP, and this is the Clash in Paris reaction show. Sorry it's taken me a while to do this video, but now that I'm here, let's get into it. Alright, first, make sure to please hit that subscribe button for more wrestling content. Let's get into this. Alright, so Bronson Reed faced Roman Reigns, and this was probably the best showing for Bronson Reed I have seen in quite a while. Roman Reigns definitely made him look good in the ring. Bronson Reed looked like that intimidating force. He kind of was on Roman the whole match, and then Roman picked his spots, ended up hitting the Superman punch, ended up hitting the spear, got the win. He got his shoes back, but the aftermath is what we're really going to focus on here. Roman has definitely been written off TV. He took spears from Braun Breaker. He took tsunamis from Bronson Reed. Roman also choked out Paul Heyman during this, so Paul Heyman was out of action, and then Roman Reigns got taken out of action. And then at the end of this whole thing, Adam Pearce wanted Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker both out of the building, just completely out of it, not anywhere near the arena. So that obviously, we knew something was going to happen in the main event, and we will get to that after the rest of these matches. But yes, I thought Roman Reigns did a great job of getting Bronson Reed over in this match. I thought Bronson Reed probably looked as athletic as he possibly could in this match. It was a long match, but it was quite entertaining. So, I mean, I picked Bronson Reed for this. They obviously didn't go with Bronson Reed. They obviously chose Roman Reigns, which is fully understandable. It's a PLE, it's in Paris. You want that feel-good moment for the fans. You're not going to have Bronson Reed win. I get it, but at least you make Bronson Reed look dominating and a force to be reckoned with. So, that I liked. Let's get to what the stage looked like in Paris. I loved the whole setup for the show in Paris. It was an amazing stage. Let's get into the fans. The fans were top-notch. You can have a mediocre card. Like, you can have a mediocre card and have some subpar matches, but a very loud crowd can get you to that next echelon, you know? Like, they can take it to another level. So, I love the Paris crowd. They brought it. They always bring it. And just kudos to Paris. They did such a great job. Alright. I chose the Wyatt Six to win the Tag Team Championship match. They retained. Obviously, it made the most sense. The match was okay. Nothing special. It was decent. Nothing crazy. I do want to get into the fact that throw away the Wyatt Six. Throw away the whole spookiness, the whole concept, all that. Throw that all away. I love the fact that I love the concept of Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis as a tag team. I think when the bell rings, the spooky stuff goes away, but these two can actually go in the ring. These two can actually go in the ring, and to be honest, so can Montez Ford, so can Angelo Dawkins, but the whole team of Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis, I love that team. I love the team. They're great. I think they're good tag team champs, so good job on their part. Good win for the Wyatt Six. Now, here's the dud of the show. And the dud of the show, and I think we can all agree on this. If you don't agree with me, please leave a comment below. Becky Lynch defending her IC title against Nikki Bella. I think it's time for Nikki Bella to exit stage left. It's over for her. I gotta be honest, I never thought she was any good. The fact that she's in the Hall of Fame still baffles me to this day. I never thought she was talented. I thought at best she was a diva. At best she was a subpar reality star. but for the most part, like, Nikki Bella should not be on TV anymore. It's time for her to go. Sayonara. Becky was the right winner for this, obviously. You don't want to touch the IC title onto Nikki Bella at any point. So that made the most sense to go with Nikki Bella. Sheamus versus Rusev. A lot of people give me flack on this one. A lot of these people give me flack on this one because Rusev needed to win this match. And the way he won this match with the accolade, using Sheamus' shillelagh, choking him out, was the absolute right way to do this. You need to make Rusev look intimidating, or else we might as well just release Rusev right now because the character's just not working. You needed to do something different with Rusev. And to get this win over Sheamus in his own match, the Donnybrook match, made the most sense. I even picked it in my predictions. I chose Rusev to go over Sheamus. I thought it made the most sense, and when it actually happened, I liked it. Because what would a win do for Sheamus? It does nothing. What does a win do for Rusev? Everything. It does everything. Now you can start to get him in the mix for maybe the IC title, something like that, but I don't know where Rusev's character is going at this moment. But that was a much-needed win for the Bulgarian Brute Rusev. So I was very happy with that. Logan Paul and John Cena. This match was amazing. This match was amazing. And, man, as much as I want to just not like Logan Paul, he's very good in the ring. And when you're with a John Cena who can take you to another level, I mean, that's just what this is all about. Logan's selling was very good. The storytelling was very good in this match. They used so many finishers from different wrestlers, like different nods, like Cena doing an End of Days, Logan Paul obviously doing his famous buckshot lariat, and he does it, and Hangman obviously does it better. But, like, this was a good match for Logan Paul. This was a great match by John Cena. Cena obviously gets the win. I did choose Logan because I thought, hey, you know, if Logan beats John Cena, at least Logan can say, hey, I beat the greatest of all time, John Cena, and then you can take that heel character to another level. But John Cena winning this was the right call. It's fine. It's what should have happened. So good job by WWE. Good match all around for that one. Now we come to our main event. Now remember, earlier, Bronson Reed kicked out of the arena. Braun Breaker kicked out of the arena. Paul Heyman in the hospital. So Seth has to have a plan B. And Seth told Jackie Redmond, I'm always 2 steps ahead. So we knew something was going to happen during this match. So out of this 4-way, Punk, LA Knight, Jey Uso, and Seth Rollins. The key person that needed to get over was LA Knight. And I feel LA Knight got over in this match. I feel LA Knight is finally... I can finally, like, sit here and say, you know what? I don't mind LA Knight becoming World Heavyweight Champion. I'm not going to go as far as saying he's over enough to be the undisputed WWE Champion, but he can definitely be a World Heavyweight Champion. Jey Uso, he didn't need this. And he got involved with Roman Reigns earlier in the night because Roman was obviously getting dismantled by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, so Jey Uso got involved, and that really, honestly, I know it's family and everything, but Jey, come on, use your brain. You have a championship match. Why are you going to get involved with Roman Reigns? But like I said, I get it, it's family. So yeah, I'm fully comfortable with LA Knight becoming a World Heavyweight Champion at some point. I can totally see it. But the big thing to come out of this, guys, the CM Punk storyline with Seth Rollins has just really ignited. This has really gotten to a point of like we're at a boiling point right now for this rivalry. So Punk and Seth Rollins, this whole match, obviously they have great chemistry in the ring. Obviously there is hatred. I don't think it's so much Punk having hatred for Seth Rollins. It's more Seth Rollins having hatred for CM Punk. And so this match is going. There was actually a spot in this match where you're thinking LA Knight could possibly win this. And then obviously Jey Uso broke it up. But so Seth Rollins is just beating up on Punk. And he puts Punk's head on a chair. And he goes for a curb stomp. And Seth is saying to Punk, I hate you. I hate your family. That's a key right there. He said, I hate your family. He didn't have to say that. All he had to do is just keep saying, I hate you, Punk. You're never going to be champion again. That's all he had to say. But he brought in the word family, which is very key. So, he goes for the curb stomp. Okay, he goes for the curb stomp. Punk moves. Seth's leg goes into the chair, and like the chair kind of collapses onto his leg. And then Punk, by using that, hits a go to sleep on Seth. And then Seth goes up against the ropes, and Punk goes for another go to sleep. And Punk's taking his time with this one, and then he says, go to sleep. And then a hooded figure comes out of the crowd and low blows CM Punk. And as soon as I saw the hand, I knew it was Becky Lynch. Because I was like, that's too small to be a man's. That's too small to be a hand of a guy. Like, that has to be a woman's hand. And when she took off the thing and everything and it was Becky Lynch, I was like, holy fuck. And my first instinct was AJ Lee. That was my first instinct. As soon as I saw her take that off, I'm like, holy shit. And then her standing over Punk with Seth Rollins, with Seth getting that 1, 2, 3 count. Guys, I've always been teased about the AJ Lee thing. Like, the WWE never really teases it out loud, but like we as fans do that thing where we make assumptions that aren't really true. But so after the match, Punk is walking up the ramp, and there is a fan who has a sign that says, bring back AJ Lee. And Punk went like this. And then he actually grabbed the sign, looked at it, put it down, and went like that. That's probably the closest thing to WWE doing something that like actually puts the thought in your head, like, holy shit, we're actually gonna get AJ Lee. Now, at the post-match stuff with Big E and Jackie Redmond, Big E brought up, like, that man has a wife too, and I know his wife, AJ Lee. So, I mean, they actually said AJ Lee, and so that was Clash in Paris. Now we get to Monday Night Raw, and Monday Night Raw was okay. You know, it wasn't anything like crazy. Obviously, we'll get into the final, the end segment with Punk and Becky. But the whole show is pretty much Punk wants to get his hands on Seth Rollins. He wants to get his hands on Seth Rollins. He's waiting for Seth Rollins. He's waiting for Seth Rollins because he wants to beat the shit out of Seth Rollins, which is perfectly understandable. This is the second time he's gotten screwed by Seth Rollins. So he wants Seth Rollins. Matches. Penta. I don't know what we're doing with Penta. And I'm not even going to get into the match he had. Penta's just eating loss after loss after loss right now. I don't know what the plan is for Penta. Personally, I would try to get Penta to SmackDown as quickly as possible. I think WWE needs a draft as soon as possible because I think Penta needs to get off Raw and he needs to go tag team with Rey Fenix unless his brother Rey Fenix gets drafted to Raw, and then those two can be a tag team on Raw. But they need to do something with Penta. Obviously, the big match of the night was AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio for the IC title. Guys, France loves, in particular Paris, France, loves AJ Styles. And yes, there is a soccer song. It is phenomenal. And it goes la 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 la. I don't really know the words to it, but every time you hear the word phenomenal, they go crazy. So we were very surprised AJ Styles did not get a match on the PLE, but he did get a standalone on Raw against Dominic Mysterio. He did lose, obviously, not putting the IC title on him. Dominic Mysterio is doing a great job as the Intercontinental Champion. So, you know, that happened. Roxanne had a great match with Rhea Ripley. So there was that. Obviously, Rhea Ripley gets the win. Obviously, she is waiting for the winner of Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer because Rhea Ripley is going to go for that women's championship. And then we get to this segment. I don't even care about the LA Knight and Jey Uso match versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Could care less about that. What I do care about was the final segment with Becky and Punk. Becky comes out. First of all, Punk wants Seth. He wants Seth. So freaking, he's waiting, and then Burn It Down happens. And we're all expecting Seth Rollins. But out comes Becky Lynch. And Becky comes down. She ends up getting in the ring. And basically these two just exchange verbal jabs. Becky said, you know, Seth is not the only person that was affected by all the fans chanting your name during his matches. But they chanted their name they chanted your name during my matches as well. And I just want to say one thing to Becky Lynch. The fans knew when to chant CM Punk over the years. And it was during the most shittiest, boring matches. And I'm going to say this right now. That Becky Lynch is not the Becky Lynch we have now. That Becky Lynch was the stupid one wearing the stupid steampunk goggles, coming out with her stupid trench coat, looking like the most stupidest thing you could possibly think of. And let's face facts, she was no Charlotte and she was no Sasha. Okay? So for the fans to chant CM Punk during her fucking matches, that's just what you get, Becky. You were not entertaining enough to hold the crowd's attention, and that's why that happened. I just had to get that off my chest. So they exchange jabs back and forth. CM Punk says, listen, your husband is a coward, okay? He hides behind Paul Heyman, he hides behind Braun Breaker, he hides behind Bronson Reed, and now he's hiding behind his wife. And he called Seth a paper champion, and he said, listen, you shouldn't be reduced to just Seth's wife because you are a true superstar. You have made it, but you have terrible taste in men, and you married a bum. Like, Punk hit her with the kitchen sink on all this. And Becky did a very good job on the mic. I'm not going to lie. Becky did a great job on the mic. Becky gave me Stephanie McMahon vibes in this promo. She gave me Stephanie McMahon vibes. And when Seth came out, which he came out to no music, which I freaking love. Unless when there's run-ins or not expected entrances, there shouldn't be music. So for Seth to not come out to music, I loved it. But you could also play devil's advocate and say, well, Becky came out to the song, so why you need to play it twice? That makes sense. Okay, I will definitely agree with that. But the fact that Punk tried to get to Seth and Becky kept getting in the way, like she went like this, and then she went like this, and then finally Punk got around, and then Seth walked away. And then Punk turned around and Becky just, bam, right in the face. And she just kept slapping the shit out of him. Slapping the shit out of him and slapping him again and again and again, like she really laid her shit in. And then Punk looks at her and says, your husband is going to regret ever cashing in on me, and you're gonna regret ever putting your hands on me. So, and during this segment, multiple chants for AJ Lee broke out by the fan base, and Becky actually acknowledged it, saying, "There you go again, chanting someone's name that doesn't even work for the company. Some dope that got fired." But now is the moment where there's smoke, there's fucking inferno. So Punk walks to the back. Becky's going, "Yeah, that's right. Go to the back. Go. You know what? Walk to the back, and you know what? Never come back. Just go away. Never come back." And then Punk is in the back. And then he goes to Pierce. Pierce goes to Punk. And Punk's like, well, Pierce went to Punk and said, "Listen, you know where Seth worked." Actually, Punk went to the back. Sorry for screwing this all up. Punk goes to the back, and then he's like, "Hey, where'd he go? Where's Seth? Where'd he go?" He's like, They both left. They're both gone." And Punk's like, and then Adam Pearce is like, "But you know what? You know where he works? You'll see him Monday." And then Punk's like, "Where's SmackDown this Friday?" And then Adam Pearce is like, "Chicago, home sweet home. Why?" And then Punk just hits right on the shoulder and says, "Tremendous." Guys, if this is not the return of AJ Lee, I don't know if it'll ever happen. They have laid it on so thick with the return with AJ Lee, and it only makes sense for her. It doesn't make sense for Rhea Ripley to help him out. It only makes sense for AJ. It's his wife. You need a wife to take out another wife. Punk and Seth hate each other. AJ Lee comes back, take care of Becky. It writes itself. You have WrestlePalooza in a couple weeks. That would absolutely sell tickets. You're looking at a massive card for WrestlePalooza. Also, you will get a prediction and a reaction show for WrestlePalooza. But yeah, this is the time for AJ Lee to come back. There has never been more of a time for AJ Lee to come back than right now, and it's staring us right in the face. So, now we're gonna go to another thing. There's so many debates on who's greatest wrestlers of all time, and I was thinking to myself, what really makes for a greatest of all time characteristic? You can be a great performer in the ring, don't get me wrong, but I feel it's the true special ones that elevate the person that's in the ring with them to another level. So, with that being said, here's my top females for this. Charlotte Flair is the greatest of all time women wrestler. And so is Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné, because Charlotte got Sasha over, and she got Becky over, and she got Rhea over, and she got, Tiffany, in my opinion, still sucks, but I guess she got her over too. That's how good Charlotte Flair is. Mercedes, aka Sasha, there's no doubt about it, she got Bianca over. Bianca got over because of Mercedes. Then you think to yourself, people want to say Becky Lynch is the greatest of all time, but has she ever truly elevated anybody to the next level? All of her storylines, she never got Bianca over. Like, that never happened. She never got Bianca over. She really hasn't gotten anybody over. She didn't get Liv over. Liv got over because of Rhea. So, like, they didn't get over due to Becky Lynch. And then we go to the men. Okay, wrestlers that I feel gotten over due to other wrestlers. And obviously John Cena is at the top of the list. John Cena got so many people over. Randy Orton, Edge, all of them got him over. JBL got John Cena over at the WrestleMania. But for the most part, Cena has been that pinnacle. And then, yes, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns got Cody over. Brock Lesnar got Roman over, and then Roman got Cody over. Punk has gotten people over. You know, he got MJF over, you know. So, and then you go to Seth Rollins. And I'm not being a dick here. But who honestly has Seth Rollins gotten over? Not really anyone. And you can't even say that, oh, well, you know, he had the 3 matches with Cody, so, you know, that's how Cody got over. No. Cody and Seth are pretty much right there. They're fucking right there. But once again, Brock Lesnar got Seth over. The whole Beast Slayer thing. So, I mean, when it comes to greatest of all time, it's definitely Roman, it's definitely John Cena, and then for the women, it's definitely Sasha, and it's definitely, Charlotte. No doubt about it. That's how this works. If you can get wrestlers to the next level just by being in the ring with you, then that puts you in greatest of all time. It just does. Alright, everyone. This was the Powerbomb Clash in Paris / Monday Night Raw reaction show. Have a great day. NFL starts tonight. Be sure to check out my next video where I will be breaking down each division, giving you my division winners, giving you my Super Bowl pick. Enjoy tonight, Dallas and Philly. I think this could get ugly for Dallas very quickly. But enjoy your Thursday night. And thanks for stopping by. And thank you for listening to Powerbomb. Please make sure to hit that like button right there. And please leave comments. Let me know what you thought of Clash in Paris. Let me know if you think AJ Lee's coming back. Have a great day.